That's right. You know what time it is, don't you? We all know what time it is. It's Porky time! Woo!
Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? I've got a special treat for you today. It's been nearly 2 weeks since we brought this man back. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Michael Theo from Essex. How you doing, Michael?
All good.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. And you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, a long day for me today, but I haven't forgot you. So, what have you been up to?
Doing a bit of work, tidying up, getting ready. Opening on 12th, isn't it? The main business is, the car washing and all that. The rest of it, cars are just ticking over, a bit on the quiet side.
Are you busy?
One here and there.
Are you busy with tyres and brakes and exhaust and all that, mate?
Yeah, just ticking over on that, actually.
Busy with car washers? Still not allowed to do them?
Yeah, next week, next Monday.
Next Monday. Oh, it's not so bad then, is it?
Yeah.
So cash register will be ting, cha-ching, cha-ching next Monday with it.
Ching, ching, ching.
You'll be earning a few quid next week, will you?
Hopefully, yeah.
Good man.
It's been a while.
Good man. I know you've not seen that much boxing at weekend. I just want to ask you what you think to the AJ and, Tyson Fury negotiations and how it's panned out in this last 10 months. Because as you know, Tyson made an announcement 10 months ago today saying that it was a done deal of 2 fights and that Daniel Kinahan's the man. Well, that was 10 months ago. We haven't got a date. We haven't got a venue. We don't know what country it's in or which pay-per-view channel is going to show it. I just wondered what your thoughts were on all that, mate.
Shut up! Make sure you win the fight. Make sure you win the fight. You can't be me.
See this in here? See this heart? You can't beat art, and the Furies have got bags of it. Bags of art.
Well, that's number one, according to Daniel, or Tyson says, thank you very much, Daniel, for securing the fight. And we know that hasn't been done. And then we go to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said it's secure. Then Frank Warren, this is going to be like a hush-hush thing under the table to do the deal. So Eddie Hearn come out of it. And then I seen a little that was a podcast with Frank Warren. He was saying, listen, when you sign something, you sign, secrecy. Obviously Eddie's let it go out. So Frank said, well, look, it's out there. I can't deny it now. Yeah, it is being put together. Hence, just looking for a venue. I mean, but how long? They've got their venues secured because it's going to be, like Saudi probably or Dubai. You know what I mean? That's where the money is, and that's where that's where it's going to be held. It won't be held in the UK. They're just going for the money. Obviously, the fighters need to get paid, and everyone else gets a nice payday if they go down to Saudi end, which I believe it's heading that way. But has it been made? No, it hasn't been made. I don't think. I see John doing a little rant about it.
And you know something? The character at the Wizard of Oz, the lion looking for some courage. Let me tell you, the lion had a chance of getting courage because he had a dream that there was an Oz and a man talking from behind the curtain.
In a little video thing, did you see that bit? John was getting stuck in again, butting in something that's not got nothing to do with him. Alternatively, his son's fighting. But what the hell is John doing, making silly videos? He could mess the whole thing up, opening his big mouth.
Maybe.
What do you think about that?
Maybe John don't want his son to fight Joshua. Maybe they're happy with earning millions outside of fighting Joshua, and maybe that might be the old plan of it, to not fight Joshua, to not fight him. I don't know. It's
yeah, but what is John opening his big mouth for? Trying to get involved for something professional out there. Yeah, he could screw things up, I believe.
Maybe he could, but maybe he might be able to force the issue with Eddie Hills.
Got on and done the tie. Done as I was told, like a dog. Because you know why? I was mentally stronger than everybody in there.
Well, because he's big bad John.
Maybe, I don't know. It's his son, in it, that's fighting, and I don't know. Maybe Tyson might have put him up to it. I don't know. Every now and then we get a John outburst, but not that many these days, do we, Mick?
Nothing. Only the Fury DNA some sort of Mickey Mouse clothes branding he's bringing out.
Yeah.
I see he wore one the other day on a video. Fury DNA. What's that meant to mean? He's got balls.
He wouldn't even trade with Ruiz. And Ruiz ain't Tyson. There's nowhere for him to go in that ring when Tyson gets in front of him, smashing that big jab in his face, hitting him to the body, roughing him up. Then it comes down to men and how big your balls are. And Tyson's got balls like two King Kongs and Godzilla rolled into one.
He's got big knackers. Or he's got big tits, maybe. Something like that, isn't it? Fury, big tits DNA. Or Fury, no balls DNA. It's probably that one, isn't it? He means he's got no balls. And he's Fury DNA. John Fury's DNA, he's got no bollocks. Maybe. You should put underneath it, DNA, no bollocks. Maybe, yeah, maybe I'll do a little brand myself, you know.
Do a little what?
A little brand like they're doing, you know what I mean?
Oh, you said a gram then.
Brand?
A gram.
You've been hearing too many things, mate. Yeah.
No.
Maybe, you know what I'm going to do, Russ? I'm going to surprise him next time with a t-shirt I'm going to be wearing. Oh, I'm not going to give it away now. It's too nice of a plot to do.
Yeah. Would you bring your own clothing brand out? Theo DNA, would you think, Nick? Who'd do that?
Well, Theo's got his own DNA. You know, it's proper man. You know what I mean? Proper stand-up man. You know what I mean? I think people would want to wear my clothing rather than his, don't you think? You might get a few of his lickers, arse lickers and hangers on that don't even know him, trying to support him, saying they're saying this and they're saying that, they will crush me, this is, you know, all that bollocks. Well, if you don't think he can do it, get hold of him by the hero and say, get the fuck out there and fight that Mickey T.O. For fuck's sake, don't let the travelling boys down. Come on, you concha, get over there.
Well, mate, what you could do, what I could do, if anybody's interested in buying a Mickey Theo DNA clothing item of clothing, or you're interested, send me an email, porkycorner@mail.com, and I'll have a look, see what we can sort out for you, Mick. If you want to go down that route, I might be able to point you out with a couple of companies. If you want to do that, personally, I won't get involved with it, but
I'm just about to say that it's not me, you know.
No.
Listen, who am I at the end of the day to start bringing my own clothing brand? You know what I mean? I'm not a celebrity, eh?
You've got a bit of a cult following, haven't you, Mickey? I know what you mean.
Yeah, but listen, I'm not. What is John? I mean, what? Who does John think he is?
Heavyweight champion of the world! I said it! Quit! I said it! No believe in John Fury!
You know, bringing his own branding out. Fury DNA. I wouldn't mind if he was a geezer that stood up and went out and had a fight. But he hasn't thrown a punch since he's been out the shovel.
Yeah, that's my one line.
6 years ago. And he ain't thrown a punch before that. Has he?
John's probably created this persona, hasn't he, that he's this big, gruffy, tough guy. He's probably, look, John's soft as a jelly baby underneath, but
Listen, I know that, Russ. I see him. I know what he's all about. He is a soft guy and probably a nice guy at the end of the day, although we know he's a bully. But, you know, he's challenged. He's the best. Well, I'm here. I'm here to prove you're not the best. You know what I mean? That's all I'm doing. Challenging someone who's got no bollocks DNA.
Well, you're accepting John's challenge as anybody over 50 to fight him. So I
and I'm older than him.
Yeah, but mate,
we'll give it a few years. We'll be 60.
Yeah, mate. I think that this fight with you and John might be going the way of the pair.
What do you mean, going off the pair?
No, it might be going the way of the pair. It might be going pear-shaped as regards to it happening. In Doncaster, we call it.
Okay.
It looks like
pear-shaped. Yeah, it's gone pear-shaped. It's gone wrong, isn't it? It's gone wrong.
Gone Pete Tong on it. I don't know what.
Pear-shaped. We use that phrase down here, Russ. I think you nicked it off us from back in the day. Yeah?
Pink Tong. I think somewhere along the lines, it's all got a bit muddled with his social media. 1 minute, John's doing videos saying, "I'll challenge any man over 50. It's in my DNA. I'm a fighting man. I challenge any man to turn up over 50, and I'm the best. I'm X-rated." So you accepted that. So, and somewhere along the lines, in the last 10 months, I've ended up losing all my hair that I had left and all rest of my brain cells and will to live, mate.
I'll get the Joshua on. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will bet Eddie and everything, and I'll put him and his dad in the dole queue. I'll put them in the dole queue. Because I'll bet them everything they've got. Let's have a winner take all. Let's see if they do that. He's saying that Joshua can do that. Winner take all. Tyson will go for it. And he'll be in the dole queue. That'll be the end of them. The end of the Ains, big mouth. Done.
We've had some fun along the way, but this man's arsehole fell out when you accepted it. When
That's the
you
word, mate.
accepted,
The arsehole fell out.
he had a bladder problem, and it took a piss everywhere. That's what happened. Now, if he didn't, it would have happened. Fair enough. People can keep emailing me, going on about the same old thing that John offered him in the gym next day, and then in Billy Joe Saunders' yard, and blah blah blah. But well, that's not to do with me. You originally both had plans with agents getting involved, Spencer, who is it, and whatever. So for those new listeners, the fight were arranged. What it make for May 28th?
Yeah, May the 28th. Secret location. Well, it's actually, it's not secret now. It's the Rise of the Foot Soldier 4. It was going to be held in there, yeah. The ring is still there today. It can still be held there.
Well, there you go. So what's
Spencer should have showed John the routine, the script for what we're doing. And the other card had a problem with his big bad toe. He had to go to hospital. Hence, he didn't rig me. Hence, I called him a weasel and I called John a chicken because they weren't coming back to us. And then silly bollocks, Spencer gets on the podcast and obviously said it was a bag of poop, what I was saying, you know, talking about pandemic and all the bollocks. And then, yes, we will fight you, you know, when the time's right. Yeah. You know, all this crap, bells and whistles they wanted, you know, they want a big auditorium or arena and they want all the fucking flash bash and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got to give John a proper show. They wanted to, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just doing something on the podcast. I'll ring you back when I'm done, yeah, but I'll have. Yeah, so they wanted all this and all that, and then John was going to, you know, smash my full Steve down the back of my throat, and I'll tell you apart, you bastard. And I don't fucking swear. You know what I mean? All that bollocks. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a journey, but listen, we're still chipping away. Like I said, John, we ain't stopping until you come out and you say, Mickey Fee, I don't want to fight you. End of. We're still going to chip away, mate. We're still going to be doing what we're doing. Like we say, we've got some posters going around as we talk, probably, I think, in Manchester. So you'll be hearing some people questioning you and why aren't you fighting me? Why aren't you this? Why aren't you that? You know, it's simple, John. Just come out and say, you don't want to fight me. Alternatively, I ain't stopping. I'm going to carry on. And just want to get in the ring with you, mate, and prove you are not X-rated and you are not who you think you are. Yeah. You said you're the best. You're messing with the best. Make yourself known. I'm in London. All Frank Warren shows. Yeah. You ain't nothing, mate. You've got no bollocks. You've got no DNA in you. Take them tops off. You can't wear a top if you can't fight someone or stand up to your challenge.
Yeah.
What more can I say, Russ?
Yeah. Well, I don't think you could have put any better. I don't think you could have put any better, really. Could you, Mick, really?
Well, you put it good the other day on the top 10 helmet. You know, at least they made the top 10. You know, you said it how it is. You said the correct things. You know?
For those of you that haven't seen Helmets of the Month for March, it's on...
It's the best. It's the best.
Corner.
Helmets of the Month, March. That came out last week, didn't it, Russ?
Last week, yeah.
Last week. Push the button down below, subscribe, and you'll see it.
Cost a fortune to make, and it pulled about 5% at price it cost to make in ad money. The biggest disaster ever as regards financial, but I enjoyed making it, so that's the main thing, isn't it? So,
I think that was the best. Honestly, I'm not just saying it was John, but I think that was the best time I've seen you perform on that last week's Helmets of the Month. Well, especially when you spoke the truth about John Fury.
Well, what it is, mate, like you paid for 2 hours in the studio, so you just want to get it off until we quit. You're not there to mess about once you paid, are you? Don't have nightmares. I've done my budgeting for a month on helmets. But I enjoyed it, and listen, I'm having fun out of doing this. So if I wasn't doing this, Mick, I'd be out wrecking law every day and be up to no good. So I enjoy doing this, so I'm happy. Okay, then I was going to ask you, Mick, what you think about Ted Cheeseman? If you think he's losing his speech a little bit and a bit of his brain cells, because he sounds punchy to me at 25. I just wondered if you agree with that.
He does seem a little bit that way, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does. I've listened to him, and I've listened to an interview from 5 years ago, and I thought he's totally different. And I've listened to some from 7 years ago, David Allen, and I listened to him now, and both been affected by blows to head. And I'm just wondering if Border Control are noticing things like this.
Border Control.
Boxing Board of No Control.
I thought you were talking about Border Control.
Yeah. I wonder if the Board of Control, the British.
Yeah, Border Control. Yeah.
Cardiff.
Russ, they won't be bothered anyway. They're not going to worry about things, are they?
Well, I'd like to think that they would.
They should do, but they probably won't, will they? They won't even recognise it. They don't want to look at, he's talking a bit different than last time.
Well, what I'd like, Mick, is scans at gyms. After people have had sparring, everybody has a scan straight away. The equipment. If you're a registered trainer, you should have scanning equipment. I'd like to see some funding put aside by the government for every trainer to be given that. Just every trainer has one. And if everybody can go in a room and have a scan at these gyms and just check if they've been hit by anything too hard or anything, because I'm seeing
good idea.
I'm seeing people talking to on TV who I've met in past, and I'm thinking, God, that doesn't sound right. But it's worrying. I think things like that I worry about, and pensions for fighters and stuff like that. But everybody seems to be want to do. Yeah, we'll sort some out. And then a week later, it's gone out their heads. That's when somebody's died. So.
Yeah, that's an important issue. Funny enough, you just brought up, which is a good issue you brought up, and they should do something about that, or pre-fight before the weigh-in, before they even hit the scales. Have a scan before you go into jump on the scales, because what's the point of going in there if you are a bit brain dead, or you could have a clot or mild something in there going on, and the extra few blows would make it worse or worsen the situation. Little do they know they've got an issue. If they're talking like that and slurring, there's an issue, yeah.
Yeah, I think there is. And I don't think the board represent the fighters like they should. They know they are. Last year, they took over £900,000. And it's on Company House. If anybody wants to check up, going to Boxing Border Control. Last year, they had over £900,000. That's 18 grand a week, every week. And they didn't pay no tax. They put it all through as expenses, which is fair enough. But all six of them had a good jolly up on that, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. And I think that while they've been laughing and joking and gin and tonic in it and lobster and salmon and all that.
It's a day out for them, isn't it?
Eggs Benedict, when they're giving it the old Eggs Benedict, what about the fighters that are getting up in the morning to a wound up pot noodle and kids walking around shitting nappies wanting a pair of trainers or a bag of crisps? Do you know what I mean? They're the pressures that fighters have got, but the Board of No Control don't have them pressures, do they, when they're coining it in? So I think that there's got to be a grey area. It can't be black or white. It's got to be in the middle. And the fighters need somebody to look out for them. Now, years ago, we had Barry McGuigan, who were supposed to be a representative of the fighters and this and that. And we're at Nicky Piper. These do-gooders.
Yeah.
I go at them personally, but nothing happened. It were a load of people having a load of meetings, talking a load of crap and nobody doing anything.
Yeah.
I think that now we need somebody to stand up for these boxers and say, boxers need pensions, boxers need life insurance, they need Bupa, they need brain scans. Something needs to happen. I don't know. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, a big yes with that one, mate.
How can we have it in football? In football, we have it, but we don't seem to have it in boxing, and it's a more brutal sport. We have it in rugby, but we don't have it in boxing. Why is this? Why can't anybody ask these people? When I used to ask them at shows, they used to, I say, I want to pull you about that, about pensions. I'll see you in a minute. Let me just go up bar. And I'd never go over and see them because they go, they'd like run. They run.
Yeah.
When they see me at a show, they're born, oh, it's Porky. They'll start, they'll turn into Alan Wells. But point I want to make is that Something needs to be done. That's all. I'm passionate about that. Pensions, brain scans, bank accounts where they've got money saved, life insurance, Booper, all them kind of things need sorting.
Yeah,
But
it's a good thing. But then they'll always come out with something else, will they? Well, hang about these boxers are earning millions of pounds.
yeah, it's up to
Why
the,
they're on a pension? You know, they'll start digging out that side of it. You know,
Why
hang about
not?
you guys be making millions of pounds and you want a pension as well. They'll start giving all that. You know.
Well, why don't they make certain boxers take a certain percentage out of every person that go away, and then they get it when they retire?
Yeah, good point.
That'd be a start, wouldn't it?
I mean, now in business, they're doing the business pension. You know, if you're running a business, you pay business pensions now. You know, so the government grabbing monies for later on in life to pay people out. They're just grabbing money from everywhere. You know what I mean? But they're doing it to businesses, charging them pension funds now schemes. So whoever's got a business, they have to pay towards. I think it's 170 quid a month or something. It's not cheap, but anyway, you might as well have your own pension, you know what I mean, for that money. But you was talking about the brain scans and this and that, and about being retirement. I heard that Dave Allen's meant to be coming back out of retirement.
Yeah, Dave Allen, he's got something in the basement, apparently. He reckons he can come back.
Doing a Rocky, is he, in the basement?
Well, we had the big David Allen retirement, the 4th, 5th, I don't know. He went out in a blaze of glory, did all these interviews, Soccer AM and whatever they call it, all these shows with Sky and IFL, Boxing Social. He's had his 15 minutes in the sun retiring, but now, 6 months later, it's Papi de la comeback. David Allen is coming back. He's pounding the streets in pit boots like Ali, running around Denby.
Is he?
Fire ducks.
You know what? I've always liked him, Russ, funny enough. The White Rhino, you know. Sorry?
He's likeable, isn't he?
Yeah, I like it. I like Dave, yeah. I've always watched his fights when he's fighting, and I've always, I don't know. He's good. Listen, he's got balls. Shall I put it? He gets in there. He can have a tear up, and when he can switch it on, he puts it on. I mean, you know, I used to like it, watch his fights all the time, and I still would. I think Dave's all right, you know. Yeah.
How many belts has Dave won in his career, Mick?
Dave Allen?
Yeah.
I don't think he's done nothing, is he?
He hasn't won a belt yet, no, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but listen, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, as a point of view, my personal thing, I just like the guy, you know. I think he's
likeable, isn't he? Yeah. But
yeah, he's a likeable guy. And I just like him as, if he was fighting someone I didn't know or didn't really know, I'd want Dave to win anyway, you know what I mean? So, yeah, likeable guy. I've always had some sort of soft spot for him, you know, in fighting and boxing, and you pick your sort of favourites, didn't you? And you follow the people. Yeah. It's like anything, you know.
Do you feel that boxers should be on the TV for their skill set or for their social media presence? What do you think to that, mate?
Well, it's the skill, really, isn't it? I think, anyway. Social media comes into half. Anyone go on social media, you know. Tom, Dick, and Harry can go on social media. Anyone can get on there. But I think you should be somebody up there in your profession to be up there. You know what I mean? And spoke about and talked about in a good way. You know, what you are and your skills. But and like you say, anyone can go and set up an account, bang. You know that, and I know that they're doing it every day. You know, running their mouth off and running all the shit work off you for other people. And it's just social media, isn't it? It's a lot of bollocks, really. Excuse my French, but it is what it is.
If I have anything to say, mate, on social media, I don't say it in comment section. I just speak into this and put it out there, and then it spreads, doesn't it? That's what I do. You know, if I have something to say. So if people see comments from Porky's Corner accounts, just click on it. Go to the top right-hand corner, it'll say about, and it'll tell you when the account was set up. This was set up 2017, but you get a lot of them that are set up 2021. People trying to cause problems behind the scenes to me. And I don't even get involved in all that now. I don't even get revved up about it. I just want to say straight on here, and jobs are
Yeah.
good. Same as
Yeah.
you, mate. There's an
what
account
we do,
actually. There's a Mickey Theo one that comments on our videos, and it's got your picture on front. You know,
Is it?
your boat on the front of it. Yeah,
My boat race.
your boat. Yeah, your Shepton mallet face, Mick. It's all Shepton malleted up on front, and it says Mickey Theo, Essex or something on account. That's the Brain of Britain account. That guy got up in the morning, said, "Do you know what? I'm going to get up this morning, and you know what I'm going to be?" And his wife's
Mickey
going, "Oh,
Theo.
I'm going to be Mickey Theo from Essex." She'll have gone, "Who's he?" But here's a funny one for you. Do you know Steve Bunce? He does a show on radio with Mike Costello. Have you heard of it? Costello and Bunce.
No, I don't think I have.
And this
I know,
kid,
I know Buncey. I mean, I got Box Nation. I watch him all the time. You know, I think Buncey's a great guy.
yeah,
Steve Bunce, if you're listening to this little podcast, which you probably will be, tell your mate John Fury to come and fight Mickey Theo, the one that's got no bollocks or DNA. Yeah, tell him from me, okay? Or sorry, mate, Stevie, you tell him from me to you to him. Yeah, don't give him the big up and all that. Just tell him in his ear, why don't you fight Mickey Theo? You ain't throwing a punch since you've been at the show. Come on, John, you fat cunt, get over there.
right. You can't help yourself, can you, mate?
No, I think Buncey was, I'm sure he was like behind the scenes too, isn't he? Hey, come on, Stevie, give John Fury a little hero bashing. You know, ask him the question, why ain't he fighting me?
Steve Bunce.
Why, sorry, because he's got no bollocks. He's found out too much information about me, probably.
Let me just stop you a bit there, right, mate? Let me just explain something.
Okay.
Steve Bunce is employed by BT Sport. John Fury is a floating contributor for BT Sport. Every now and then they have him on the shows. So they are colleagues, right? Steve Bunce is not going to go and mention your name in the same sentence as anything that he speaks to John about, because he's going to play what they call the game. He's playing the game. He's employed by BT, so he needs John Fury there, doesn't he? He needs him as an alloy, because while ever John Fury's son's the heavyweight lineal champion of the world, mate, no,
I've got you.
John can do what he wants. You see what I'm coming for?
No, but I'm thinking, Steve Bunce behind the scenes, whispering John his ear, not the setup on show, but live, you know, behind his ears.
Steve will be saying, listen, let me tell you what Steve will be saying to John if your name's mentioned. Steve will be saying, God, never had a fight in his life. You'll ice him in one round, John. John will be like, yeah, I know,
Yeah.
trying to make a few quid off my name. That's what Steve will have said.
The famous father, John Fury, the famous father.
He'd have said, John, you'll dow him in a round. John will go, yeah, I know. That's what's been said. And I know, Bunsen.
100%. 100%.
You ain't got to read too much into it, because I'm one firm believer that John shot his mouth off. You've got beef with him, and he's gone into hiding. So you'll get your chance to bump into John at some stage. It might not be this year, it might be next year. You will meet with John. I'll make sure of it. You will be at a place he'll be at one day. I don't know when. And you can say your bits then, hug and kiss, sign contracts, or get at it. But you will meet him. It's just a case of when. So don't worry. You catch up with him. Everybody catches up with everybody in the end, don't they? Or karma catches up with you.
Looking forward to it.
Well, let's hope you can get it on. If not, you might end up great mates. You and John could end up growing old gracefully.
Yeah. All the chickens in the background.
You never know. You might end up growing old gracefully. I don't know. I hope so. But or there might be beef there. You just might not like sight of each other, but you might never fight, Mick. It might never happen.
Chip. Keep chipping away, lad.
Right. Have you thought about, if John, when we get to May, when the year's up, mate, have you thought about a different strategy? Like, do you just having fighting anybody just to get a win on board? Have you thought about that, mate? Just to show
you asked me this question before.
You are interested.
I'm not one to get up and do that. You know what I mean? It's just something about John Fury. You know, so the same what he was saying about Dana White and believing he's the best. That just got me up really, and it is it's become what it is today. You know, and I think obviously, I think slowly we're proving that he's not the real deal, is he? He's not who he thinks he is. He's not the X-rated. He's not the ex-king or whatever he thinks he is. He's just a nobody. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That's John's one-liners. You're even nicking his.
Yeah, well, that's what he because he keeps portraying himself in that direction and using them words. That words back to him, John. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. Okay. Put your bra on. Put your bra on. Hold your tits up, mate. Yeah. Wear one of them girdles to suck you in. Yeah. That's what you need, Mr. Baywatch.
You know, when he first were going to fight you, he came out and did a video and said he didn't want to fight you because he didn't want to stand next to you in ring, didn't he? Do you remember that video?
Yeah, he didn't want to look like whatever he wants to think he looks like, you know.
He said, did he say Billy Bunter? He said, I look like Billy Bunter stood next to that Mickey. It's something like that, wasn't it?
I can't remember exact words.
But I remember the video, do you, mate?
Well, yeah, he was saying he's too embarrassed. People don't want to see an old man's like body, you know. Well, I'm older than him. I don't mind. They can see my body. I ain't got nothing ashamed about.
Yeah, but you're in love with yourself, though, aren't you, Mick? Stripped off, aren't you? Getting it all this in front of me.
Listen, I work hard for my body, mate. You know what I mean? It's just what I like doing, you know. And yeah, I'm proud of what I do, and I do it every day. And
you give it the old Tom Platts, Mickey, in front of the mirror at night.
Tom Platts, lad.
Yeah.
Tom Platts. Tom Platts.
Tom Platts
just shake his legs around, doesn't he? And bang.
Yeah. Yeah, he did, didn't
he? Yeah. So he's the leg man, isn't he? Tom Platts. He's known for the legs.
Godfather.
Yeah, of the legs. Yes, definitely.
Quadzilla. Quadzilla, they used to call it, didn't they?
Mm.
Yeah. All right then. Well, other than that, I hope you
I'd like to say a big up to Richie, the energy drink. A little bit of sponsorship. They bring me around about 20 crates at a time. Great drink, energy drink. Rich, they do a lot of sponsoring all over the world.
Yeah.
So great thank you to Richie and all the sponsors continuing sponsoring me moving forward. They're all displayed there. You got one on the corner, Raymond Davis. And you got online casino. Fancy that?
Yeah.
So if you fancy a bet with this company here, online casino, they're up and running. Get a bet because I fancy beating John Fury. Get a bet on. I fancy that. So got nothing more to say about John, but I'm still here, John. I'm still waiting for you. I'm still training, mate. And let's get it on. Stop hiding.
Yeah, I were gonna mention this sponsor that I nearly got today after you just mentioned your big one.
Funny enough, you know what? I just noticed, Rush, you're wearing the same top as me.
Yeah, no, you sent me it, Mick.
Yeah, I know I sent you to, but no, listen, it's nice to see you wearing the sponsor. So
yeah,
the Porky is wearing the same as Mickey Theo, the sponsorship.
He's the Mickey's sponsor. Closest I've got to a sponsor. Closest
I don't think anyone's seen on the back. They've seen no one's seen on the back. I'll show you the back, which like there we go. Can you see us?
Yeah, Team Theo. Oh, brilliant. Cosmic.
Yeah, this is the official tops we're wearing. So this is the Team Theo tops. We've got t-shirts as well, and we've got baseball caps coming out. And we might have a DNA under the Team Theo DNA.
Well, as I was saying earlier, Mick, before you interrupted me about your Team Theo cringy top, I was just saying I was that close to getting this sponsor today, and this guy approached me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he had a nice car and that," and he were talking to some guys with a van, and they were jet washing these wheelie bins, and I was like, "Oh yeah, what sort of business is it, mate?" And he went, "Well, what it is, Porks, I'm thinking about having my logo on your channel. That's what we do." I goes, "What's that?" And he said, "We hose down wheelie bins that, you know, we had all sorts of."
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. That he said, "Yeah." He says, "There's hardly any money in it for you, but we'll do your wheelie bin for you, Porky." And I said, "Oh, is this what my life's come to? I've got another hour and I've got to stand talking to Mickey Theo with all his sponsors, and I've got you offering me my wheelie bin getting jet washed for free." And I've got to put your logo on my top. He goes, yeah, well, you've got loads on there. I goes, these are not mine. They're Mickey Dio's. Team Mickey.
It's funny that, eh?
But story of my life, Mick, 3 wheelie bins getting cleaned. Eh?
No, I've heard of them down here. They do it down here. It's a good idea, really. Go around
I could branch out, Mick. I could come down there with a jet wash, couldn't I? Working for my wheelie bin man next door, but one.
Listen, think about it. At the end of the day, I mean, in the summer, you get maggots in all the bins, didn't you?
Yeah, oh, great.
There's a lot of people that don't have jet washes, whatever, you know what I mean, or hose pipes, and so it'll be good it's a good little business really going around and cleaning them up, you know. But
yeah. Hey, listen, there's no wrong with our grafting. That it's just that I don't want to.
You're better off coming down to London and doing it. There's a bit more money involved.
Yeah, I could.
You know what I mean?
£2 an house instead of 50.
Maybe me and you set up a little company. Eh?
Yeah, Porky and Mickey's wheelie bin cleaning business.com.
That's it. Or we can go around. We can go around someone's house and then jet wash their wheelie bins as well. Can we?
I'm going to really topple Eddie Earn off his perch with that wheelie bin sponsorship, aren't I?
Yeah.
No worries then. All right. Well, listen. Thanks for coming on, mate. I'll get this sent to Cameron within an hour, and tomorrow he'll put your sponsors on it and a bit of an intro and an ending. How's that?
Don't forget, push the button below.
Oh yeah,
still $5.99.
$5.99 a month. Yeah, YouTube.
That's very cheap for what they're getting.
Oh, it is. It's cheap. It just covers price of my tyres getting slashed, doesn't it, every month, or my car getting scratched. If it pulls in $200-300 a month, we'll break even. So keep them tyres slashing up. We've got a standing order at Mick's. Right, next time, Mick, instead of me going to Jay's at Dennerby, I'll get them off. I'll get them off you, eh? You can.
No problem. No problem.
Is that all right?
They'll cost you nothing, mate. They can slash as many as they want. Cost you nothing.
For what I'm paying for budgets, I can go back to having Pirellis, can't I? Because I don't see a point in putting nice ones on. If they
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right then, Mick. Well, listen, you have a great evening, great Tuesday night. Don't forget Liverpool, Real Madrid tonight, Mick.
I don't really follow football, mate.
Don't you?
No, since I stopped playing years ago, I was, when I took over bodybuilding, and just that didn't bother anymore.
Did you play back in the day?
Was I what? Sorry.
Play football back in the day when you were young.
I was the nuts, mate. I was the bollocks. I was great soccer player.
What team did you support?
I played Gaelic as well, Irish football.
Yeah, what team did you would support as a football fan, mate?
Back in the day, Spurs.
Spurs. You were a bit of a Glenn Hoddle type, were you, player?
Yeah.
Skillful and that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I suppose I supported him because my friends supported him as well. You know what I mean? We was like a kiddie thing, wasn't it? But honestly, it wasn't really my thing. I love football back in the day, though. Loved playing it myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was really good at it, you know. But I don't know, I started doing some weights and boxing and just no interest at all anymore.
Once you started lifting them weights, Mick, and looking in the mirror, you fell in love with your son, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tom Platts, weren't you, mate? Tom Platts went to California. He wanted to get a decent body.
They were the ones, mate.
California, he wanted to hang around on beach all day.
That's it. Venice Beach, Santa Monica.
Have you been there, mate?
Yeah, I went down there years ago. Yeah. Listen, I think it's every bodybuilder's dream to go down there. I see Gold's Gym, Wells Gym. And I actually met Arnold in Wells Gym. Yeah. And I think I mentioned this a year ago. He signed
Arnold now.
I bought a hoodie off of in Wells Gym. You know, he had the big, I think had the gorilla, didn't it? And the weights. And then Arnold come along and signed it for me. Yeah. And he come out of this, we was waiting for him to come out of the gym, and he come down the stairs, got into this big Hummer H1, with a big cigar, and drove off. You know, it was just nice to see Arnold in the flesh, you know. And then, like, the next block away is Gold's Gym, you know, on Venice Beach. So you got Wells Gym one end and Gold's the other end. And in Gold's Gym, you see all the top guys in there, you know. It's just massive, big rooms of weights, 4 or 5 big units, you know what I mean? Massive. And then you got a firehouse, which was the food place. Everyone went for food, like they done breakfasts and pancakes and things like that. It was great, you know. You could live out there and just dream being in that sort of environment, you know. It was amazing.
I went to
And
a
then-
gym like that, Mick, in Nottingham, and there were all these big meatheads. Obviously, they were on alt gear and that. One of them walked by me, mate. I swear to God, his back was about that wide, and his head. I was looking at him, and his head had popped up like that, mate. That was his head there like that. And I said, God, look at that bloke over there. He's got a really tiny pinhead.
Yeah.
He had like a real pinhead, and his body was about that wide. And they said, yeah, that's his nickname, Pinhead, because he's had that much gear in him. He didn't know whether he were coming or going. He'd obviously not
Yeah.
rest of his head, or I don't know. He doesn't look reformed.
I got a T-shirt, Russ. I had a gym. I was up in Witness, 1990. I had a gym out there. Mickey Theo's bodybuilding gym it was, and I got a T-shirt. Honestly, it's probably that wide, maybe wider. Yeah, and my missus brought it out one day. She goes, "This is what you used to squeeze into." That's gospel truth. I still got it. The size I was back in the day, amazing.
Yeah. What were your heaviest weight, mate? You were walking about at
About 21 stone.
21 clan. What's that? About 300 pounds, over 320 pounds, isn't it? Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, but
20.
I couldn't wear anything at the time. Couldn't wear normal clothes. Wear bodybuilding clothes, big baggy tracksuits, and
Yeah.
low cut tops. Things you feel comfortable in,
Did you wear? Do you like them bottoms they wear? Look like jammers, them, Mick, don't they?
Crazy wear, yeah. They're called crazy wear, weren't they?
Is that what they're called? Is that what you used to wear back in the day?
Yeah, so all that sort of stuff,
And now look at you making your skinny jeans and your Timberland.
Yeah.
Your what's that stuff? Stone
Stone
Island.
Island.
Wear all that, don't you?
I couldn't get a pair of jeans to fit back in the day, And a suit, I get suits made, shirts made,
Yeah.
But it was what it was at the time, and it was good, what I mean.
All right then.
Yes.
Okie dokie. All right then. Well, listen. Have a great evening, Mick, and keep on trucking, keep sporting boxing. Don't have nightmares. Have you got a message for Big John Fury, fighting man that don't fight, hardest man in the world, over 55? What's the message to him, Mick? Go on.
John Fury, stop selling DNA T-shirts or sweatshirts because you ain't got any DNA. The only DNA you got in you is, you know what?
All right then, Mick.
Chicken.
All right then, Mick.
No. You ain't got no bollocks. You ain't got no nothing, mate. We got is a pair of tits that hangs down here, and that. Don't have nightmares.
All right then. Peace out, mate. Cheers, pal. You have a good one.
Don't forget to push the button below.
Go on, I'll see you, mate. Take care.
Take care. See you later, Russ.
You like that one, didn't you? Right, first of all, I just want to say thank you very much for liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me because we're on this journey together, aren't we? So anybody got any ideas for the channel, fire them over to me, porkycorner@mail.com. All right. Shout out to Innovation Alloys and South Yorkshire Packaging. All right. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep on trucking.